Hello there, Cybertron once again. This is my Transformers Fall of Cybertron hard mode walkthrough. This is Chapter 1, The Exodus, and we're playing as Bumblebee. You might not have been expecting this. I know I wasn't. And it's not just that, guys. We have a few other stipulations that are going to be happening in here too. So it is on hard mode. We will not be upgrading. We will not be using any of the tools that the game pretty much gives you. And it gives you quite a lot, which is awesome. I'm stunned by how much I like this game. And I have a rather rich history with not thinking I was going to like this game at all. But the beginning here is a tutorial. There's just a couple of enemies. I'm going to be using a no HUD mod, and I have pumped the FOV out a little bit so the game looks a little bit nicer. We're playing on PC. The game runs pretty well. The mouse is surprisingly good when it comes to hipfire, and surprisingly not so good when it comes to everything else. But there are a lot of things going on in this game if you've never played it, and on the harder difficulty you die really quickly, especially if you don't use cover. This is definitely a cover game, however there is no conventional go into cover button. But what you can do when you start getting hurt is you can transform into vehicle mode, and when you're in vehicle mode the game tells you that you take more damage, so it can be quite a decent defensive move to do. Additionally, when you turn into vehicle mode like I am right now, you also get access to different weapons, so sometimes, depending on which transformer you're playing on, swapping between the forms can be very advantageous. But this game has different weapons, weapon upgrades, it has perks, it has upgrades for those perks, and it has a variety of different grenades and tools that you get access to by interacting with a hub that's throughout each of the levels. On this run, I will not be engaging with that hub at all. We will not be spending any of those points. And hopefully we're going to be ending the game with about 100,000 of the currency that you would normally spend. Additionally, there are chests that you can open by buying them, and they will give you access to different weapons and power weapons and things of that nature. I will not be buying those at all. I will only be able to use the weapon that I have or the weapon that I find. And because most of the guns in this game are really good, I'm going to do my best to try to use a bunch of them. And how the weapons work, if you've never played, is you have your standard rifle, which is your main gun, whatever your primary weapon is. There's a bunch of different ones. The one I'm using right now is quite fast and automatic, but it's not too damaging. Really fun to use though. And then your secondary is your big thing that has less ammunition, that tends to be like a big rocket launcher or something super strong. On top of that, as you noticed just then, when you get close to the enemies you can melee them, and the melee often knocks down. And if you knock down, you can then shoot them on the ground, which is really advantageous. Standard ammunition is blue for your primary weapon, gold ammunition is for the secondary and the power weapon. And one of the difficulties of this game is kind of spotting where the danger is, because there's a lot of Transformers on the field. Some of them are your friends, some of them are not. If you're all over it and you know the Decepticons and you know the Autobots, you'll probably be absolutely fine. But it must be said, my Transformers knowledge is quite low. I've not watched it since the cartoon in like the 80s. So it's definitely down there, but this game is amazing and I cannot wait to share it with you. Thank you so much for watching, and you take care now.